Hey guys, welcome to this week's bus update. We haven't had a bus update in a little bit, so I got a few things to kind of show you guys and talk about. So the first thing is pretty interesting. It has to do with 3. Here recently, I've been helping them clean out at work at the bus garage. I've been helping them clean out a parts storage room type thing, and a lot of the stuff in there has been stuff that belongs to buses we don't have anymore. So, basically it's just been cleaning out and throwing away things that aren't of any use. And I've been able to take a few things that, might work for 45 or just things that would be trash anyways. For example, I got these first aid kits. This one obviously says Amtran, and then we've got 2 Bluebird, and then I have 2 of these, but I left one at home. And it's the Bus Equipment and Sales Inc. with the little Ford Wayne. And these were actually sealed in plastic, so they're like, brand new. But they didn't have anything in them, so I can basically use them for whatever. So that's one of the cool things. I don't think I made note of this in the last video. They also had some the body mounted mirrors, the double nickel mirrors, and the cross views mirrors that were new, and they were going to get thrown away otherwise, so I just kind of took them to have a spare set for 45. Now, something I found in this storeroom, which is pretty cool, is they had a few different gauge clusters, but is this gauge cluster. And if you know your gauge clusters, this is obviously for an S-Series bus. And we happen to be on an S-Series bus right now that is missing its gauge cluster. So my thought, and I don't know it for 100% sure, but my best guess is that this is 3's gauge cluster, because I have the front pieces to this gauge cluster. I have the little metal bracket here, or the metal piece, and then the front. So I have parts to it. So I have a feeling that is 3's, and it would make sense because, 3 was the S-Series we had the longest, so it would make sense for it to have been that way, for that to be 3's. So basically, I took it because it was going to get trashed otherwise. I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to stick it in the hole, the missing spot for the gauge cluster, because, why not, So, I thought that was pretty cool, and the mileage on this gauge cluster is, let's see, what does that say? 192,670, I think. So, that's, if this is 3, that's what the mileage was. But anyways, whether or not it's 3's, it's going to go into 3. And I just feel like it's got to be 3's gauge cluster, because 3 was the S-Series we had the longest, and I don't see there being a gauge cluster from one of the other S-Series, stuck in that storage room, when most all the S-Series would have been gone before the early 2000s, whereas this one stuck around because they used it for part storage and parts and all that kind of stuff. So that's my guess on that. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, I thought. And again, we have the first aid kits. So, it's been cool getting to salvage a few things that, like I said, would be trash otherwise. That's related to our buses. So, yeah, that's the one thing. I'm going to put that in there, and then I'll add a clip once I've actually got it in there to kind of show you guys what it looks like. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've got for you. Nothing else crazy going on here today. Like I said, I'll add that clip, and then I might add some video of 45. We'll see what happens. So yeah, we'll cut to the clip of the gauge cluster. Okay, so correction. Earlier in the video, I said the mileage was 192. It's actually just 92, which makes way more sense with the 14 years of service this bus had. So, yeah, it's in the bus now. The only thing missing is the shifter. I have the shifter. I just don't have the big screws to keep it in, because if I put it in that compartment, it won't stay in without screws, and I don't have the screws that are big enough for that. But this, I mean, I cleaned the front plate as best as I could, and it's kind of, I don't think it's going to get any better. But the only thing that's missing from this is the little part that would go behind there and would light up behind the lights, that has like your different indicators. But everything else is pretty much there. Of course, it has no fuel or air pressure or anything like that. It's kind of hard to see because the gauge, like the little windows are dirty. But, I mean, this is probably, I'd say this gauge cluster has probably been out of the bus for a good 10, 15 years. So, it was nice to get to reunite it. And, I mean, at the end of the day, this is like putting makeup on a pig. Like, obviously, this does nothing for the bus, but it looks a little bit better than not having a gauge cluster at all. And, I mean, it's not screwed in or anything, but it's there. And, I mean, it's really for looks at this point. But I honestly never thought I'd find the original gauge cluster, or what I think is the original gauge cluster. And I had actually bought a gauge cluster out of one of the buses up at the junkyard, with the intent to put that in this back when I was going to full-fledged restore this bus. But obviously right now that it looks like it's not gonna happen. And just in case you were wondering what those noises were, that's what I was doing. Anyways, but it's probably not gonna happen. I mean, it's doable. I just don't have the time, money, resources to do it, because this old girl needs some work. And that's what it is. But anyways, that's the gauge cluster in now. Like it looks a little bit better up there. I have the shifter, like I said, and the shifter is back here. So like the front plate to that gauge cluster was one of the things that was on this bus when I got it, or like just like randomly thrown in. For some reason they took the actual gauge cluster but not the face piece to it, which to me seems stupid, because it's like, if you're going to take that and say you're going to put it in another bus, you need the face piece. Like, I don't know. But, so, right here is, 3's shifter, as you can tell. And it's like I said, if I go to put this in, like to make it look like it's a part of the bus again, it's like I can set it inside of this hole or whatever, but it won't. I'm a liar. I mean, I thought it would not stand up, but it pretty much stands up, even with not being, like, screwed in. It stands up just fine. It's in neutral, as you can see, even though there's no transmission in this bus. But I guess I was a liar, and that can just stay there. So now it kind of looks complete. So, yeah. Anyways, that kind of looks normal again. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it really does nothing for the bus, but, for me, it all looks better with the actual pieces in place versus just a bunch of empty spaces. So, yeah. But that's pretty much it for bus update this week. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll throw in a clip or so after this. But, yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Real quick, I do have a few tour videos on the way. I was at Little Miami on Friday, so photos are up on Flickr. And then I do have two tour videos that will be getting posted soon. So yeah, but anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think, and yeah. Okay guys, it's finally here, the long-awaited startup of 3. Let's do this. Gotta wait for the I don't even know if this would have, well, Yeah, listen to that engine. Man, isn't that cool? Yeah. Isn't that cool, guys? Let's go ahead and let's drive it. Screw it. Let me clear the trash out of the way here. Put my foot on the brake. Put it into... Oh! The shifter's coming out. Alright, it's in drive. Let's hit the brake. Okay. Let me close the door. Okay, hit the pedal. Wow, we're driving. We're driving. Isn't that cool? Okay, that was stupid. Anywho. Yeah, so, 3's ignition, honestly, is the same ignition as 45, 66, and, like, all the other older buses. So I know that was stupid, but, you know, it was a part, it was something I wanted to do because, I mean, why not? So, yeah. Well, here's a part you don't normally see at the end of the day. Well, like, at the end of the day that I come to film a video is me putting up the windows. So, nobody asked for this, but... Nobody asked for it, but the idea just kind of dawned on me, or happened upon me. So I thought, you know what? Why not give them some footage of me putting up windows? Because why not? You know, who doesn't like the sound of school bus windows clicking? You know, I mean, I do. I don't know if you guys do, but that's just me. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this bus update. And I promise this is really it. So, yeah.